Take a look.
Huh? Help you with something?
That island in the lake. That is the Creators Guild, isn't it?
Yeah. Why you asking?
It might be the distance, but it looked a lot more populated when I was last there.
That's because after your father's war, a lot of the Creators' mages left. They were afraid of being out in the open, so to speak.
Why? The Creators Guild didn't participate in the war, did it? Same as Everlight.
Yeah, but that didn't stop the common folk and the refugees who came here from blaming them. There were even attacks on the guild.
Well, not all the common folk, as you call it, took part in them. I know the Creators' mages haven't ever done anything foul. What happened during that attack was a bloody tragedy. The mayor saw that the people who did it were put on the gallows.
I want to set over. How much will that cost?
25 gold. And no haggling.
I want to cross the lake.
Sure, where to?
Far right, why not?
Hardly anyone here.
But still, the magical signature of this place is impressive.
Well, let's go find someone we can talk to.
Sounds like a plan. Let me see.
As a neutral, apolitical association of mages solely devoted to the study...
Here we are. Impressive.
And there's people down the hall. We should...
Interesting. We do not get visitors often these times.
Who are you?
I'm Undergast. I suppose you could call me the head of the guild. I sensed someone was coming and that someone had an intriguing aura. Now I know who it is. You are Isamo Tahar's child, are you not?
How do you know?
Well, I have studied Isamo Tahar's magic quite extensively, especially since the end of the Mage Wars. He was a remarkable man. Yours and his magical aura have a lot of similarities.
A remarkable man?
Yes.
Does that mean you supported him?
No, that is not what I said. I merely stated that he, as a mage and a man, was remarkable. Unusual or special, and therefore surprising or worth mentioning. My opinion on the war is an entirely different matter.
How are our auras similar?
Well, hard to say. You can simply tell that you're related. And there's something else about you that is, well, strange.
I get that a lot. Could you elaborate?
It is hard to say. There's something peculiar about you. An oddity in your aura which I cannot make sense of. I'm sorry. Either way, I assume you were here for a reason. How may we, the little that is left of us, help you?
The ferryman told me about an attack on the guild after the Mage Wars. He said it was the reason there are so few mages left on this island. Is that true?
Yes, but it was not just the attack. There was also an internal disagreement.
That attack, how did it end? Am I right to assume you stopped it?
Of course. They were trying to kill us, so we fought back and killed them instead. At least until their morale was broken. Looking back, I think that this display of power was something we should have done earlier. Only because we were peaceful, the people who attacked us assumed that we were defenseless. They will not make the same mistake again.
Makes sense.
It does. But again, it was not only the attack that diminished our numbers, but also a disagreement we had within the guild.
What kind of disagreement?
I would prefer not to talk about it. I am sorry.
So you are the leader of the guild?
Well, I do not see myself as such, but yes, the majority of the guild considers me its leader.
I was wondering if you could tell me more about the Creators Guild.
Maybe I should begin with the question, what do you know about us already?
I know that you're a neutral association of mages that didn't participate in the Mage Wars. That's about it.
Well, and that is about the core of our guild. We are mages devoted to study, science, and the preservation of knowledge, and we do not involve ourselves in political conflict. We were founded in the year 231 by a woman named Goddess Bowdry. Ever since, the Creators Guild has been a constant in the ever-changing political landscape of Northander.
Actually, we're here for a reason. We're investigating the Bloodburn. Is there anything you or your guild knows about it?
The Bloodburn? You're studying it?
I guess you could say that. Yes.
Interesting. No, we do not know more about it than most alchemists or apothecaries at this point, though our general consensus is that we doubt the corporeal origin of the plague. There is magic involved in it.
Well, you're right about that. It is magical, and it is connected to the Shapers.
The Tsarlanth, that's interesting. Say, would you mind to tell me more? You seem to know a lot of variables which we are not aware of yet.
I'll tell you, but we should find somewhere to sit. It's a long story.
Of course. Well, this is both fascinating and peculiar.
What do you make of it?
I do not believe in visions and prophecy, unless they come from a dreamweaver, so I'm uncertain. There is no arguing that this man Rondar Lacane knew more about the Bloodburn than most people, and his clues led you to Mullendir, which is nothing short of impressive. So you believe that the Bloodburn is caused by Shaper telepathy, is that correct?
It is a theory, but yes.
I see. I would like to come with you.
What?
I was clear, was I not? I would like to come with you. Your story is nothing short of fascinating. The Shaper City, the Bloodburn, and this Nexus. I would like to accompany you and help. I have a wide knowledge of the magic and the Shapers, and have a strong interest in finding a cure for the Bloodburn.
What about the guild? Aren't you their leader?
I am, but that does not bind me to stay. It is common for creators' mages to head out to expeditions. They have become rarer due to the war, but still, there is nothing stopping me from coming back when our business is concluded.
Well, why not? Just know that it will be dangerous.
I can defend myself. Quite well, in fact. However, there is one thing I need to finish before I come with you. Study. Maybe you could help. This would facilitate matters.
As long as it doesn't take too much time, yes. What are you studying?
Simple. I have always been fascinated by the notion of sentience and the mind in general. What creates consciousness? What is it that distinguishes us as humans from a wolf who is slave to his instincts? Quite recently, a group of refugees who arrived in Everlight told me of a bizarre sight. They said that a stone golem took over the abandoned mine near the gates and has grown a soul, and apparently has been trading with the villagers and even befriended one of them. It all seems highly unlikely, but I want to investigate it.
A monster with a soul? How is that even possible?
I do not know. It is not the first time people have reported such occurrences, but most of the times they turned out to be a hoax. This is the first case I've heard that might be legitimate. If it's true, this might change the world forever. Can you imagine? The ramifications of such a discovery would be monumental. It is currently believed that only the 5 principal kinds are capable of conscious thought. Disproving that would change everything. Suddenly, would killing a monster not be a homicidal act? Would putting them in a cage not be considered slavery? And finally, is it right for the principal kinds to consider themselves special, chosen by the Guardians?
What do you need my help with?
Well, this is all an exciting scholarly prospect, but a golem is still a golem. So if the monster goes feral, I will require assistance. I can defend myself, but still it would be unwise to go there alone. I will get prepared and meet you at the mine. Do you know where it is?
Tell me.
Up north, at the top of the Iskander mountain. I will go as soon as possible.
Fair enough. I'll see you there. Yes.
Zarek
Wait.
guides me.
Meat.
No sign of Undergast.
You must have gone in already. Come, let's take a look.
Intriguing.
Ah, it is you.
Didn't you say in front of the mine?
I did, but then I realized that it might be wise to scout ahead in order to get a clearer picture of the situation. Come, let us go. The golem and its supposed friend should be further down the mine.
Something you need?
You got it.
This place is a bloody graveyard.
did not expect so many creatures. Strange.
Got it.
Fair enough.
Undead.
Let's do this.
More fighting. Does this never end?
Sure.
I'll keep you shielded.
Look, up ahead. That must be the golem.
And its friend. Let's see what they have to say.
Rick, someone's coming.
Greetings. Are you?
Rick, who are they? I'm afraid.
Don't worry, Hubert. They are not here to hurt you. Judging by the sounds of fighting we heard, I take it you took care of those undead. If so, you have my thanks. They appeared out of nowhere just a couple of days ago and locked us in.
They are dead. We're here to ask you some questions about your, friend.
I figured. So I'm guessing you heard the rumors, right? Yes, this is the golem with a soul. And yes, I am the odd fellow protecting him. But before I tell you anything, promise me that you won't hurt him.
I know he might look intimidating, but he's actually quite sensitive.
I promise.
Good. That's good.
So, what do you want to know? You didn't come here to take him away, did you?
What are your plans for Hubert? Neither he nor you can stay in this cave forever.
Honestly, I don't know. Hubert is such a good lad, and I want him to have a normal, happy life. As bizarre as that sounds when talking about a golem. He would love to make friends and...
Yes, friends. Rick, will these misters be my new friends?
Hubert, what did we say about interrupting other people when they're talking?
It's rude. And it makes people sad.
Do you want me to be sad, Hubert?
No, Rick. I'm sorry.
Apology accepted. Just don't do that again.
Anyway, I try not to think about it. And until you showed up and killed those undead, I wasn't even sure we'd ever make it out of that cave again.
Hubert, what makes you different from other golems? When did you realize you can think for yourself?
I don't know. I always had thoughts, always had ideas, but I did not know how to tell people about them. After the ghost attacked me and Rick healed me, he taught me how to speak.
Taught?
Yes. Yes, of course. Rick taught me how to speak.
Hubert is a very good student. He learned how to speak almost fluently in just a couple of months. If only men were half as eager to learn, maybe we wouldn't be in this mess we find ourselves in.
He could also carry the spirit of a person in him. Did you ever think of that?
If so, it was the spirit of an infant. As I said, all I did was offer Hubert guidance and, well, love.
How did you come to know Hubert? I mean, you don't just come up to a golem and start a conversation.
Right. You don't. I found him laying half dead just outside this mine. Some creature drained him of his essence, a ghost or something.
Darkness came and stole my light. It hurt. It hurt so bad.
I know, Hubert, but it's over now.
For some reason, I immediately noticed that Hubert was different. In every other situation, I would have simply turned away and alarmed the guard, but I just couldn't. So I went into the city to find a mage.
Who? Joseph. His name was Joseph.
He is not with the Creators Guild. And this Joseph agreed to help you.
Well, he still owed me a favor, so... Yes, I asked him to heal Hubert. And even though he told me it was dangerous, he eventually did it. When it was done, he told me to get away as soon as possible, as it might wake up again soon. But just like when I had first seen him there, I simply knew that there was something in him. Something that made him more than just a construct. So I waited, and it turned out I was right. You can figure out the rest. I took him into the mine, as the Everlight guards would have attacked him on sight. And here, we became friends.
How long ago is it that you found him?
Let me think. Almost 4 moons now.
What? And simply knowing he was different was enough for you to take on a golem?
Trust me. I know how it sounds. And it's hard to describe, but yes. Basically, that's how it was.
So you took him into the cave to protect him?
Yes. Of course, word eventually got through to the townsfolk. But you're the first to follow up on the rumors.
And before these undead woke up, this place was actually quite peaceful. A bit gloomy, yes, but safe. And that's what matters.
How did you become friends, though?
Rick, friendly. Rick, always friendly. Rick, care for me.
Well, maybe friendship isn't the proper word for it. It's more like I care for him, the way a father cares for a child. And yes, I know how funny that sounds considering Hubert's size.
Why Hubert?
It was my grandfather's name. And one day, I simply started calling Hubert that, and it stuck.
Hubert is a stone golem. Why didn't you kill these undead yourselves if they trapped you?
Kill? Hubert? I told you he couldn't hurt a fly. He doesn't look it, but in his head, he's just like a child.
All right, look, my friend here would like to learn more about Hubert's uniqueness. It would be of great scientific value. Would it be possible for us to examine him?
I don't know. Will it harm him?
Golems were created to endure pain.
What my friend is trying to say is he will do everything he can to keep Hubert comfortable.
What do you think, Hubert?
I don't know.
Fine. If you think it will help us understand Hubert better, then I don't want to be an obstacle. Go ahead.
Thank you, sir. Then let us begin. Interesting. Truly interesting. Hubert, I am done. You can rest now.
It wasn't bad, Rick. It tickled a little, but it didn't hurt.
So, what did you find out?
Not much. But let me discuss it with my companion first. Tahar, if you please.
Where is the kind sir going, Rick?
So let me be brief. I inspected Hubert's magical core, and it is rather unusual. It's overflowing with magical essence, unlike anything I've ever seen. My theory is that his remarkable intelligence comes from this irregularity. Unfortunately, I believe that the very same irregularity is also dangerous. The essence within him seems unstable.
It is very likely that it will eventually get out of control and cause an explosion unlike anything this land has ever seen. To me, it appears we have two options. We can destroy the golem, or take it back to the guild and try to harness its power, with the chance to stabilize the core and allow it to live.
I do not think I should make that choice. I consider myself a rational person, but I'm afraid that my fascination with the matter clouds my judgment.
Couldn't we just take him somewhere secluded and leave him be?
I'm afraid that's out of the question. We just don't know what the long-term effect of this instability would be. He could, for example, become feral and use his incredible power to wipe out a city or two. Killing him is the merciful option if his welfare is your primary concern.
We can't do this. This is a sentient being we're talking about, not just a construct.
Forgive me, but this is highly irrational. You are a mage, so you should be able to sense it yourself. There is a magical power in this golem, and it is growing stronger by the minute. It is imperative that we act one way or another.
He's right, Tahar. Hubert may be a fascinating fellow, but he's also a walking time bomb. Not doing anything would be imposing a death sentence on all of Everlight.
Also, there is a slim chance that harnessing the power of his core would stabilize the core, and thus allow it to live.
What do you mean by harness his power?
Well, the possibilities are endless. If we can replicate the structure of its core and stabilize it, it has the potential to change the world. We might even be able to recreate it, thus giving us a power source with the chance to recreate life.
Obviously, there is no guarantee these experiments will bear fruit. We would also be risking blowing Everlight to smithereens in the process.
If I had to make a guess, I would say that there is a 40% chance that the golem will be stabilized, and we will be able to harness the core. A 40% chance that it will die in perceived agony, and a 20% chance of triggering the devastating explosion.
That's a tough decision. Let me talk to Rick.
Of course.
Will do.
So, what did you and your friend talk about?
Well, there's no good way to say this. Hubert's magic core is very unusual. It's overflowing with energy, and while this energy is what makes him sentient, it also makes him dangerous. If we let Hubert stay here, the core might eventually become unstable and explode. The only way to save him is to take him to the Creators Guild, where they can try to control his power. Thing is, it might be a painful experience for Hubert. I'm sorry, but it's the only way. The alternative would be to kill him.
You bloody monster! No! There's no way I'm letting you do this! He's a person, damn it, not some toy for some mages to tinker with! You'll have to kill me first!
Rick, you're outnumbered, and I'm offering you and Hubert a chance. Don't you see it? You can either die here like a fool, or make sure Hubert gets through the entire ordeal together with you.
Well, I guess you're right, aren't you? I don't have a chance against you all. But let me say this. If I learn that anything happens to Hubert, I will come and hunt you down, even if it costs my life.
Hubert, it's time to go. We're moving into a new home.
What? I'm going to see the outside again? Just how you promised.
Yes. Just how I promised.
Well, I must say that I'm happy you made that decision. I will go back to the guild now and prepare my things for our journey as discussed. I will see you there.
Blasted armor.
Walking corpses. Take them down.
Sounds like a plan.
Understood.
Huh?
Huh? Huh?
Just give the word.
Understood.
Let's see.
That way? Let me see.
Got it.
Sure.
I'll take a look.
Yes?
Yes? Ah, there you are. In case you were wondering, I sent 2 mages to help Richard and Hubert find their way to the guild. It will be a marvelous opportunity to deepen our knowledge on magic. I'm still fascinated by the idea that an abundance of magic is able to create sentience. Just think of what that entails. Either way, I am ready to join you. I will do as...
That's the way?
I must say, I am impressed.
With Mullendeer? Yes, it's quite a sight. I still can't believe we're the first ones who found this place.
It seems unlikely, yes, but yet it happened. Isgrim, the dwarf, told me about it. He said that the rock illusion shielding the entrance vanished as soon as you spoke the words, and that it did not react to Isgrim himself.
Tell me, Tahar, what do you make of that?
Maybe I'm connected to this place.
But how? I know there is more to you than meets the eye. Something about you is different, although I cannot say what it is.
I believe we stand on the verge of a change. Things have happened, Tahar. Things, the extent of which we have not even come close to comprehending. And they have set something in motion.
How do you know this? Are you some kind of medium?
A medium? No, quite the opposite. I'm an observer. As you have undoubtedly noticed, I lack the, let us call it emotional intensity most people display in their daily lives. That can be a challenge, but it also allows me a unique perspective on the world.
And to me, it is evident that the war your father started has done more than simply given birth to the purity of light. It was the first pebble in what will soon become an avalanche.
You're talking about the Bloodburn?
Among other things, yes. But as I said, there is more to it. All this, your journey, your role in what Rondar Lacane believes to be a vision sent by Aenir. It is only the beginning. But let us continue this discussion when I can give you more than vague, semi-prophetic statements.
All right. We'll talk later.
Why? When?
When something comes up. I'll go prepare for our next mission now.
Understood. Yes? What is it?
Where did you grow up? You don't look Nortandian.
I do not. That is correct. I grew up in Imperia.
Imperia? That's a long way from here.
I know, but I hardly have any memories. My parents fled from the Civil War and set over to Northander when I was only 4 years old.
So you were refugees?
Yes, much like many Nortandians are now. We lived in the Utran lands, and my parents are still there.
What's it like to live in Northander as an Empyrean?
Well, it was my impression that Utran people are by nature a lot more skeptical towards outsiders than, for example, the citizens of Everlight. All in all, however, I cannot complain. Both my father and my mother found work quite quickly. And thanks to my occupation as first scholar of the Creators Guild, they now live a quite comfortable life.
And when did you discover your magic?
At a very early age. I believe I was 7 at that time. I must have had an outbreak, but I can hardly remember any of it. All I know is that my mother's employer, who was a mage himself, immediately took me in. I went to Everlight when I was 10, and did not leave there ever since. Until now.
Interesting. You're the first Empyrean I've met.
I'm not surprised.
I've noticed that you use both white and black magic in combat. I've never seen anyone do that before. Don't the two schools exclude each other?
Normally, yes. The essence of white and of black magic deeply oppose each other. Trying to combine both of them usually has a similar effect on a mage's mind as adding water onto a patch of burning oil. I, however, never had that problem. The first time I found out was at the Arcane University in Greyfell, where I studied. The white magic spell I had cast on a rabbit to heal his wounded paw accidentally killed it. I was very young at that time, and I knew my professor would be upset if he found out, so I channeled my energy on undoing what I had done. As a result, I created an undead rabbit. It immediately went feral, and I put it back to sleep. But rather than feeling the terrible headache that had been described to us as an effect of combining these two schools, I felt a slight sense of, well, exhilaration. I secretly continued these experiments during my studies, and found out that whatever it is that causes this mental discord among normal mages did not affect me.
Do you have an explanation for this?
No, I do not. Maybe it has to do with the way my mind is structured, or maybe it is a simple coincidence.
Well, that's odd. Goodbye.
This way, right?
Will do.
I'll take a look.
As you want.
They will burn.
Everything has an end.
For decades, the Mohir elves, exiled from Finan Mir, have roamed Io in search of a new home. In Nortander, they were promised lands of their own. But as the Mage Rebellion arose, they were quickly forgotten. Now, years later, they have taken shelter in a nomadic settlement in Leafshade, a dense, dangerous jungle, amidst the no-man's land between Utran and Wulfgar.
All right. The Morhir settlement should be a little further to the north.
How long have the Morhir been living here?
Well, they left Finn and Mir about 30 years ago, and they were sent to settle here 8 years after their arrival. So that's 22 years now.
Pretty long, considering Leafshade was just meant to be a stopover.
I'm sure they feel the same way. But then again, I understand why finding a new home for fugitive elves wasn't on top of the Crown's priority list after the Mage Wars broke out.
All right then, what's the plan?
Well, I suggest we try to find their settlement first and then talk to their scryers. They're the ones who make the decisions.
Good. Then lead the way.
Uh-huh.
A fine plan.
Let's see. This looks like a beaten path. I think it should take us to the village.
Ah, yes.
I understand.
Whatever's necessary.
Corporal? Fine.
Sure.
Sure.
That way. All right.
Sounds like a plan.
They will fall. Tiara's breath. What was that?
No idea. That man looked completely mad, as if something had eaten away his mind.
Now would you look at that?
Let me see.
Is this the village?
Should be. And don't ask me why there's no one guarding the entrance.
Let's take a look around.
Another human? Wow, isn't that great?
We're just...
No, say no more. I know why you're here. Looking for some nice elven kin to enhance your bloodline, aren't you?
What?
Yes, that's what I thought. Well, why don't you join your fellow crossbreeders in the Wolfgar lands? There you can copulate all you want. Now sod off.
Get ready!
Got it.
An Elven, aren't you? It's been a while since we got visitors. If you don't count those soldiers, that is.
Well, the short version is, we're looking for allies to end the Bloodburn.
A lofty goal. Are you sure you came to the right place, though? To us, the more here.
Why wouldn't I?
I just thought the Finnanmere with their treants and gilded armors would have been a better option. We are renegades. Outcast. But I suppose your pure blood friend told you as much already.
I'm not as pure blood as you think.
Be that as it may, best you talk to Finrior and Merilith, the first and second Scryer. Maybe they'll listen to you once they're done bickering.
Let me see.
Fine.
can't believe we're still having this discussion. Tell me, Arlen, where was Ellen in all those years when our people were on the run? Just face it, she never helped us. None of the Guardians did.
Well, maybe they would have if it weren't for heretics like you. We are Ellen's children, all of us.
We are the children of our mothers and our fathers, for heck's sake. If you are so pious, then why did you leave Finn and Mir in the first place? What we need is rationality and reason, not praying to the gods that have left us.
Heresy, Vardant. This is heresy.
You know how to bargain, don't you?
Got it.
Where was your beloved Ellen when they drove us out of whatever village we seek shelter in? The Guardians are gone, Arlen. Just admit it already. Maybe it's about time the Moorhair started relying on reason
and
rather
Evran.
than superstition.
What are you doing here?
What are these two arguing about?
I don't see why that concerns you. How did you get in here anyway? Get lost.
Yes. I'm tired of seeing you spit on our traditions, spit on everything that has made our... What? Who are you? Who let you in?
The gate was unguarded.
Really? Next thing you know, this place is being overrun by undead because the guards have all gathered to hear us bicker. You're from Gravefell, aren't you? I recognize that accent. I'm Arlen Finriar, first scryer of this settlement. What do you want?
I'm looking for allies. But let me start from the beginning.
Ah, so you're Isamo Tahar's child. Well, you're lucky, I believe, that the Guardians have given us all a free will. I can see that you're nothing like your father, and it's true that the bloodburn has to be ended. I can agree with those crazy cultists on that much.
So, you're going to help us?
I would if I could. But as you may have gathered by now, we have our own battle to fight here. Ellen has cursed us.
Who is the other elf? The one you were arguing with?
A misguided fool. And sadly one with a very influential father, who made him the second scryer of this township.
Does this town have a name?
It does. Lathwain, which roughly translates as respite.
Respite? Sounds kind of temporary.
Well, it is. I don't know how familiar you are with our history, but after the Finnenmere exiled us, we were promised lands by the Queen. Then the Mage Wars came, and understandably our promised home wasn't of importance anymore.
That incident in Leonon won't make the Lord Marshal more sympathetic to your cause. You broke the White Mist Treaty.
Yes, and it was a horrible mistake. But the people were scared, particularly because Merilith did an excellent job at instilling fear and telling them that our little problem could be fixed by sending a group of scholars into Northander territory. And what good did it do? Nothing. You'd think that this failure would have shown the Moria how incapable Merilith is as a leader, but sadly, it didn't.
This looks like a nice enough place, though.
Well, save for the undead roaming through the forests and attacking us each night, yes.
I see. So Leafshade is only a stopover.
Yes. We will find our true home someday. I'm sure of that.
Ellen has cursed you?
Yes. Our lands are withering, and every 1 in 10 elves loses his mind. Their eyes turn black, they salivate like animals, and attack everything in sight.
And you think Ellen has inflicted this curse upon you?
I know. You see, since we Moria left Finnenmere, more and more of our people have fallen away from our faith. Some even blame the Guardians for our exile. Briefly put,
We were cast out of the Finnanmere Empire after we expressed doubts about the Elven Council.
Yes, I know the story.
As you can imagine, the years we spent on the road searching for a new home were strenuous. And as a result of that, more and more of our people lost faith in the Guardians, which is ironic, since our faith was one of the reasons we were cast out in the first place.
Well, you can't deny the Guardians have become weaker.
That is true. But have you ever wondered why?
I guess you have.
Yes, indeed. They have withdrawn from this world because people have stopped believing. It has always been our belief, our unwavering faith, that had made them strong. Without it, there simply is no reason for them to care anymore.
You're assuming the Guardians behave like little children. Take away their sweets and they run off crying or start throwing tantrums.
It's not that simple. But I doubt this is the right time for a theological discussion.
Probably not.
And what does all this have to do with the corruption?
Isn't it obvious? It's Ellen's punishment for us turning our backs on her.
You mean...
Yes. Ellen has protected our kind for millennia. And now, we have betrayed her. This is her punishment.
If it is a curse by Ellen, how can it be cured?
Of course. Despite all we have done, Ellen still considers us her children. What she wants is for us to remember her, to return to our true faith. In other words, it is a trial. All we need to do is to trust in Ellen's guidance. Then we will find a way to lift the curse.
If you're the first scryer, why do you need Merilith's approval?
Because that's how the Moria law demands it. The Council has to come to a mutual agreement, otherwise we cannot take action.
What do the other scryers think about that? How many are there?
4. 2 of them are with me, 2 with Merilith. You see the problem.
Isn't it more likely that this is simply the way elves react to the bloodburn?
No. Although rare, there have been cases of bloodburn among the Moria too, and they display exactly the same symptoms as humans. Varden Merilith simply likes to ignore that because it doesn't fit into his nice little theory. Also, why does it only occur in Leafshade and only outside the city walls? The plague doesn't know borders.
If we help you lift this curse, would you be willing to ally yourselves with us?
Well, the bloodburn is a scourge for all races, so, yes. Should you help us, I could take up the matter with the other scryers. But let me think about it first, will you? This isn't something I can decide on the spot.
Oh, great. Now you've fed them the same nonsense. Well done, Finrior. Well done. Rubbish.
It's not rubbish.
Salangar. A pure blood. Just when I thought this day couldn't get any better.
Not what I'd call myself. I haven't been in Finnanmere for 8 years.
Is that so? Well, who am I to judge? Who let you in?
There weren't any guards.
What? Great. Just great. This is getting better and better. But please, forgive my manners. I'm Varden Merilith, second scryer of Lathwain. Who are you? And what do you want? Are you with the soldiers?
Soldiers?
The army folk. But if you have to ask, I suppose you're on your own. Tell me then, what brings you here?
That's a long story.
So you're the corporal from Lianon? Well, that's a surprise. I know the story, and once more I would like to apologize for what Scryer Elion did. She should not have opened fire. And also, I would like to express my admiration for your courage. I know you refused to carry out the order your general gave you.
How?
A scout observed the conversation you had with that man. Either way, your story sounds bizarre, but I don't think you are lying. And after the events in Lianon, it's only fair if we help you now, to make up for it. Not to mention the fact that the bloodburn needs to be stopped.
So you will provide us with troops?
It's not that simple. I have to bring up the matter before the other scryers, and they all have to agree. But not now. We currently have our own sack of problems to deal with.
Are you the leader of this place?
One of them, yes. I'm the second scryer, and the Moorhere Council is made up of 6 scryers in total. 7, actually, but our eldest passed away recently, which complicates the decision-making, as you can imagine.
What problems do you have?
The short version? Leafshade has been struck by the Bloodburn. Elves and animals are affected, and for some reason it has a different effect on us than it has on your race. It corrupts us.
Corrupts?
Drives us mad. And if that weren't enough, the Council can't decide on a course of action. Pathetic, isn't it? People are dying, but all we do is bicker.
Where do you and Fenrir disagree?
Oh, that's simple. Finrior claims that the corruption has nothing to do with the Bloodburn, but is a curse of the Guardians. Of Ellen, to be precise.
The Guardians aren't children throwing tantrums.
Yes. And in these days, I doubt they could even if they wanted to. The Guardians are gone. This is a fact we have to deal with.
So where do you think this corruption comes from?
As I said, I think it's just how we elves react to the Bloodburn.
We were attacked by an old elf near the village. He seemed to have gone mad. Was that this corruption?
If he had been drooling like a rabid animal and his skin had been covered in blisters full of pus, then yes. You said he was old.
Yes.
And it might have been old Ravel. He went out hunting a week ago and never returned. Blazes. What a mess.
How many of you are affected?
Not as many as in your kind. 1 in 10, maybe. And for some reason the infection only spreads outside the city borders.
As I said, I'm trying to find a cure for the Bloodburn. Maybe I might be able to help?
You want this alliance to happen as quick as possible, don't you? Well, yes, maybe your knowledge about the Bloodburn could indeed help us. Give me a moment to think this through, will you? There are some things I need to consider.
All right.
Varden, please, would you mind leaving these travelers alone with your obscure theories?
Yes, sure, Arlen. Just keep on acting.
All right, this is pointless. Does your offer still stand? An outsider who isn't dependent on the Council's approval might be just what we need.
Isn't it more likely that this is simply the way elves react to the Bloodburn?
No. Although rare, there have been cases of bloodburn among the Moorhere too, and they display exactly the same symptoms as humans. Varden Merilith simply likes to ignore that because it doesn't fit into his nice little theory. Also, why does it only occur in Leafshade, and only outside the city walls?
I'll be off.
Offer still stand? An outsider who isn't...
I'm happy to assist.
You have no idea how good it is to hear you say that. Come, let's talk somewhere else. I've had enough shouting for today.
Got it.
That's better. Ellen's reigns. Isn't it incredible how this fool is unwilling to see reason?
Well, from his point of view, you're the one being stubborn. He seems to think you're unwilling to see the facts.
I am seeing the facts. This isn't the first time the Guardians have lain a curse on us. Either way, all the better you're here. Let's discuss how we proceed. What we need above all is proof to convince Merilith. As long as he insists on brewing away that curse with just enough alchemy, we cannot take any real action.
What kind of proof do you have in mind?
That remains to be seen. First of all, scout Leafshade's surroundings. The curse seems to limit itself to the outskirts of our town. I will mark the place on your map where the activity has been most extreme. Secondly, there's a human military outpost nearby. To investigate, you'll need to ask for permission to cross their borders. After the disaster in Leonon, the last thing we want is another breach of our treaty.
If the jungle is corrupted, isn't it dangerous for us to scout it?
No. The infection doesn't happen instantaneously. If you were to stay longer, say 2 or 3 days, it might get you. But for now, you're safe.
Very comforting.
If it really is a curse, how are you planning to lift it from Leafshade?
I've asked myself the same question. But then I realize there's no point in worrying about it as long as that young fool is sabotaging our attempts to stop it.
Who are those humans?
Veterans, as far as I know. So far, our contact has been sparse, but they seem to be peaceful.
All right, got it. We'll do our best.
Yes, and thank you. Never mind. Just do your best.
Neil's hammer. I was beginning to think these discussions were never going to end.
No argument there. Let's go talk to the soldiers and see if they let us into their territory to find that proof.
Huh. A traveler. Don't get many in these parts. What do you want? If you're looking for shelter, you've come to the wrong place.
Can you let us in?
As I said, no. This isn't a roadside inn. Now, sod off.
Wait, not so fast. The Moor here sent us. It's important.
The Moor here, huh? All right, fine. Come in, but make it quick. We already have visitors, and they aren't too fond of your employers.
Don't you think these soldiers will recognize you?
I doubt it. Even if they know General Noria is looking for me, they wouldn't know my face.
You should rethink your position, old man. The light doesn't show mercy on those who betray it.
Well, maybe the light can show you the way out of my bloody camp instead.
You don't know who you're messing with.
Oh, I think I do. I'm messing with a bunch of renegade cutthroats who think they can walk into a camp of the Royal Army and make demands just because their lunatic leader told you so. So, one more time for the slow ones among us. We won't attack those elves. On the contrary, if you do as much as lay a finger on them, you'll have to deal with us too. Are we clear?
You...
Are we clear?
Yes.
And who exactly are you?
Just a traveler. I'm working for the Moor here.
Ah, I see. Best you talk to Sergeant Copper then.
Why put up an outpost in the middle of the jungle?
Pardon my tongue, but that's none of your business.
Who are those mercenaries in your camp? They don't look like Nortander soldiers.
Well observed. They are Bane, purity fanatics. And no, I have no fucking clue why Sergeant Copper let them in the first place.
All right. I'll be off. Thank you for your help.
Sure.
Yes, of course.
Huh?
Who are you people? Nortander soldiers?
Aye, sure. We're humble servants of the Queen. Look, friend, I know what you are. A defiler. And if we weren't in the camp of that fucking coward right now, this conversation would go down a tad differently. So do yourself a favor and sod off before things change. 'Cause they will.
I think these are Bane. Purity fanatics. The ones Clara warned us about.
I heard that.
If you're not soldiers, what are you doing in this camp?
Business.
I'll leave you be.
What? Wait a moment. You? Rohisha Vilma, 2nd Division. Everlight Infantry, isn't it? Blazes. What are you doing here?
I think you're mistaking me for someone else. I'm not with the army.
Oh, am I? Huh. Could have sworn. Oh, well, never mind. Who are you then? And how the heck did you get in here?
The guard let me in. My name is Tahar, and I'm with the Moor here from Lethwain. There's something we need to discuss.
Tahar? Like that sodding rebel mage bastard? Boy, I surely don't envy your name. Forenthus Copper, 2nd rank sergeant to the Royal Army. So, what news do you bring from our elven friends?
Well, I assume you've taken note of this strange plague going on in Leafshade. The elves have sent me to investigate it and are asking permission to cross borders.
Granted.
Just like that?
What should I say? We need this plague gone as much as the Moor here. We've stayed away from the corrupted parts, aye, but we've nonetheless lost 3 men already. Just don't do anything unwise, and you can walk freely within our sectors. One more thing, though. There is something that we need done, and I don't have any men to spare at the moment. Would you be willing to help us as a sign of goodwill?
You seem to be rather relaxed concerning the corruption. How come?
Relaxed isn't the right word, but unlike that bloodburn plague, this one is predictable. Since we've stayed away from the jungle and within our walls, we've had no new infections. And unlike the Moor here, we're not permanent settlers in this place.
So you don't think the bloodburn has anything to do with it?
With the corruption? No, I doubt it. I mean, I'm not a healer, but the symptoms are very different.
Of course. What do you need?
Well, it's simple. Since we made camp here, some of my men and women have contracted a nasty kind of fever. We ordered a shipment of herbs from another outpost in the Utran lands, but it hasn't arrived, and the man I sent to get it has not been heard of ever since. Would you be willing to search the shore for my scout, or maybe the ship itself? The weather's been rough lately, and maybe it was wrecked.
Sure. Any idea where we should search?
Aye. Do you have a map? Here. That's where we were supposed to receive the shipment.
Got it. Thank you.
Well, it's not as if we're in a hurry, is it?
It never hurts to have additional allies.
One more thing. Who sent you? I mean, who of the Scryers?
Arlen Finrir. Why? Is that important?
No, just personal interest. Arlen and I are old acquaintances. He's a good man and a follower of the old faith. Don't have many these days. If you want, I'll send some of my men along to support you. They know the jungle, and they know how to wield a sword. What do you think?
That would be great.
Good. I'll let the sergeant know. Tell Arlen Ferentus says hello, will you?
Oi, you. Wait a moment.
Me?
No, the Queen's golden tits. Of course you. Say, does the name Bertrand Carpel ring a bell for you?
Why? What do you know about Bertrand?
Not much. Only that he came by our camp just this morning and told me he was looking for someone. And the face he described looked just like yours. Anyway, I told him I had no bloody idea what he was on about. So he left. But asked me to leave a message if you should come by. Which heck knows why you did.
What's the message?
Just that he's up north somewhere, here in Leaf Shade, and that he'll be waiting there for you until dusk.
Huh. Well, thanks for letting me know.
Don't mention it. Safe travels.
This is ridiculous.
I ride with Hiran.
Well, that went better than expected.
Attack!
No!
What the? What is...
Blood.
I hope you have a good explanation for this.
I do. I'm Iana. I and those 5 men were hired to kill you.
You're assassins.
We are.
Who were you working for? How did you know we'd be here?
You weren't as hard to follow as you think, Tahar. And regarding your first question, Amaria Leonider.
The head of House Leonider? But why?
Well, I hate to say it, but there are a lot of people who want you dead, Tahar. The question should be, why her? And I'm afraid I don't have an answer for that. I'm not paid to ask questions.
Sorry, but I don't understand. Why did you help us?
I'm afraid that's complicated. Do you prefer the short or the long version?
Give me the long version.
All right. I didn't know much about you when I accepted the contract, save for the fact that you were a renegade soldier, and that you, together with an elf named Iria, escaped the Grey Keep prison somehow.
That would be me.
I thought so. Well, we followed your trail until Farland's Hope, where you entered that cave, wherever it leads. Since we couldn't follow you in there, we waited in the village. Well, And it was there I learned that you were after a cure for the bloodburn.
And that made you change your mind?
Yes. To be frank, I lost someone to the bloodburn. Someone very close to me. And even though nothing is going to bring her back, I want an answer. In other words, I want to offer you my services.
That guard who sent us here, he mentioned a friend of mine, Bertrand. Did you...
harm him? No. I don't even know who or where he is. Leonider gave us that name and told us it would be a good lure. So we paid that guard a handful of coins to tell you his story. That's it.
And just why should we trust you? You're a sellsword.
I can't tell you what to do or feel. But think of it this way. If I had wanted you dead, why would I risk my life to save you? Furthermore, word that the assassination failed will get around soon enough. And mark me a betrayer among my kind. Even if I decided to murder you in your sleep, I would not get any money from it.
She has a point.
I do.
That friend you lost, who was it? How did she die?
I would rather not talk about it. Not here. Not now.
How can you help us?
Well, judging from the trail of blood you left behind, this won't be your last battle. I can make sure they'll end in your favor. Also, I am... how should I put it? Different. I can feel and see things others can't.
Such as?
Such as the fact that you are running from something. I do not know what it is, but I can sense it. There's something in the idea of home that scares you.
That's a pretty wild guess.
Maybe. Only you can know this. Long story short, I'm a dreamweaver.
A dreamweaver? I've heard that before. So you're some kind of mentalist?
Close. Let us suffice to say that I feel and perceive differently than most people. In every aspect.
Fair enough. Join us if you must. We need all the support we can get.
Thank you. I'll make it quick.
Sounds like a plan.
I'll be swift.
What? Commander?
Commander. Yes?
Yes?
Yes? What do you require?
Uh-huh.
Savage wildlife, steep hills, stormy shores. The Utran coast, also known as the Green Coast, is not known for its hospitality. Many ships have run aground in the northern storm.
Do you feel the wind? We're getting close to the coast. If Sergeant Copper is right and the ship really did sink, some of the cargo might have washed up on the shore.
Well, many have died here. A lot of them. And it happened recently.
And you know that? How?
As I told you, I can sense emotions and thoughts, even if those who felt or thought them are long dead.
All right. Let's also keep an eye out for that scout Copper mentioned.
I'll do what's required.
Shh. Up ahead. Get ready.
Fun.
Looters, as expected.
Well, then we should be even more careful now. Their kind rarely comes alone, and they don't seem to be the talkative type. I'm injured. Just give the word.
Huh.
Understood. Let us see.
Sure.
You read my mind. Take them down.
I'm injured.
Huh. Interesting.
Well, damn it. Seems that the warden ran out of oil.
What about the camp to the south? It looks like an outpost. They might have some.
I'll take a look.
Of course.
You got it.
A barricade. Someone or something tore it down.
Maybe the looters.
Possible.
Crazy! Put that damn torch out. Why? Why? You know what the note said.
Come on! Don't be such a sis! Shut your mouths already, will you? Let's search this place and get out of here.
It's like a plan.
What do you want? I said find your own spoils. We were here before you.
The other looters attacked on sight. You seem a bit more reasonable. Are they your men?
Who do you think we are? Plunderers United? No, we're all here on our own.
So, you fight each other?
Not as long as we respect each other's territory. First come, first serve.
Don't you feel bad about this? Stealing from the dead?
Why? It's not as if these pals still need it, do they?
Well, you have a point.
Of course I do.
We need to search the camp.
You deaf? I said this is our spot.
How about this? That's more than whatever you can find here will bring you on the market.
Let me see. Fine. Boys, we're leaving.
What? But...
I said we're leaving. Good luck, friend. Whatever it is you're hoping to find here.
Now would you look
Terror. Slithering, brutal, ghastly.
I beg your pardon?
Oh, it's just thoughts. Memories. I can still feel them. Whatever it was that caused this massacre, the soldiers were terrified.
Interesting.
Yes, that should do the job. Now, back to the lighthouse.
That way? Sure. You got it. Sounds like a plan.
As you want. Of course. I'll do what's required.
Will do. Interesting. Debris. Damn it.
And a lot of it. So the sergeant's theory was right.
Yeah. But let's look around. As I said, if we're lucky, some of the cargo might have washed up too.
Sure.
Bloody creepy this is.
Oi! Soldiers!
Wait, we...
Get them!
I can't focus!
I understand.
Seems that some of the sailors managed to save themselves. And they took some cargo with them.
But no sign of the medicine.
Understood. Tiara's breath. What are those things?
Our monsters.
Well, let's hope they aren't as strong as they are ugly. Whatever's necessary. I can't focus!
Control. Need...
Got it.
Control.
Ah!
Jesus! Help me, somebody!
You'll have to wait!
Tiara's breath. What were those things?
Snake women. Medusae. They shouldn't be in these parts of Io, though. Still no sign of the cargo.
Blasted. Well, it was worth it. What? I knew it. This looks like the medicine, doesn't it?
It does. We were lucky the plants were already processed into potions.
Well then, seems we got lucky. Then let's head back to Leafshade.
Corporal?
Let's see.
Let me see.
I'm ready. Anything on your mind?
Interesting.
You got it.
Got it.
Look at that, a friendly face. Got news?
Yes, though I'm not sure you'll like it. The ship ran aground and your scout is dead.
Huh. I'd suspected as much already. What about the shipment? Were you able to recover any of the goods?
Here, we found these potions. Are they what you were looking for?
Let me see. I think that's them. Great work. It's not enough to treat all of my men, but most of them. Thanks, friend. Once we've recovered, you'll have our full support.
Thank you.
I understand.
Now we can look at that.
Yes.
Ugh. Do you smell that?
Yes. Like carrion.
And the water has the same color as the blisters on the corrupted.
If you ask me, we just found the cause of this plague. And it's definitely not a curse.
Huh.
Blazes. What has happened to it?
Clouded. Dark fog. Dying. Please, you. Run. Run now.
Tahar, I don't like how it's looking at us. I think we should leave.
Corrupted Treant and the tainted pools. I think that should be enough to convince both Fenrir and Merilith. The corruption is neither a curse of the Guardians nor the Bloodburn. It's simply the result of this contamination, whatever it is.
Ah, there you are. How did it go?
Good, I guess. The soldiers granted us free passage and a handful of soldiers. Sergeant Copper sends his regards.
Ah, Ferentus, a wise man. Well, that's good news indeed. What about the scouting? Have you found anything in the jungle yet?
Two things. There's a treant who was affected by the corruption, which makes it likely that it isn't the Bloodburn what's causing this. Secondly, There are strange pools further down the jungle, and they seem to be tainted somehow. I doubt this was Ellen's doing.
Tainted, you say? But could it be...
What?
Well, something like this happened before. In Finnenmere, over 2 centuries before. Which means, however, that I know how to solve this problem too. Blast it, why didn't I think of this earlier? I think it's time to let Varden in on the results of our little expedition. Come, let's talk at the square.
I'll be swift.
Varden, our new friend found some interesting news that might be worth talking about.
What?
While you were busy stirring up the masses against the Guardians, our new friend took the initiative and did some scouting. Care to tell him what we found?
Well, the corruption is neither caused by the Bloodburn nor by the Guardians. There are tainted pools down in the jungle which seem to be responsible.
Pools? But...
Yes, Varden. They have been tainted.
Blazes. Of course.
What do you mean? What are those pools, and how do we cleanse them from the taint?
They are... how shall I put it? The life source of this forest. Apparently there's a cave full of Aria and Lenya beneath Leafshade, which is one of the reasons why this forest is so lush.
So the water is... magical?
Well, not exactly, but it's vital to the forest's survival. If it has somehow been corrupted, which your story suggests it has, that's bad.
And how do we cleanse them? Is that even possible?
Yes, but it's not an easy task. We'll need a lot of resources for that. And our most capable commander, Gilius, is not in Leafshade at the moment.
Well, if you want to, I can help. I've served as a commander for almost a decade.
I'm not?
If we do that, give you the command over this place until the problem is solved, do you promise by Ellen not to abuse your power?
Arlen, what?
Do you promise?
Yes, I do.
Good. Then I will instruct the citizens to follow your command. For now, at least. As I said, cleansing the pools is complicated, but possible. In order to do that, we will need to expand our sector. The ritualists need to have free and safe passage through the jungle.
I will do my best. What do we do once we've secured one of the pools?
Instruct our workers to cleanse them and make sure they are protected. If the animals are as savage as you claim, then they might be a real danger. Now, best we get started. We've wasted enough time already.
Understood.
Good. Varden, send word to the guards. I will take care of the workers.
Well, that was quick. Let's make sure not to blow our chance.
Fair enough. If we want the elves to be able to perform the ritual on those altars, we'll need to secure a path for them first.
Yes? Sure.
Blazes. That's Sergeant Copper.
Seems like that tattooed woman was serious about her threat.
Damn it.
They ambushed us. Those fucking bastards ambushed us.
Who did? What happened?
The Bane. That tattooed whore. One moment it was all normal, then they started slitting our throats.
Shit. They're in control of your outpost now?
No. I'm just here because I wanted to stretch my legs. Good thing you got us that medicine. It worked wonders. They still got far too many of us, but at least some of us made it out alive. Please, friend. I know Arlen put you in charge. Send those fucking fanatics to the claws of Nor where they belong.
But we're working for the Purity. If we tell them that, then maybe...
Pardon my tongue, but I doubt the Bane gives a shit. They say they're acting out Aenir's will, but the truth is, they're just a bunch of radical, racist fanatics. And something tells me the man you're working for knows that. even though he doesn't admit to it in public. You need to take them down.
I'll see what we can do.
Yes. Yes, you should. For what it's worth, me and my men should be ready to join the fight soon. And thank you.
She's caught a scent. We will be swift.
All right. The Bane shouldn't be too hard to take down. Let's just stay focused.
Yes, almost there.
We have no more room for troops. We need to improve our outposts.
Anything on your mind?
Let us see.
Building completed.
Damn it. This is more complicated than I thought.
We're out of stone. Uh-huh.
It will only take a second.
Of course.
Yes.
Our scholars have finished researching a new technology.
All right, here goes nothing.
They will burn.
That's all? I'm only getting started.
I think that was all of them.
No sign of the tattooed woman, though.
She must have made a run for it. Expansion is the key to victory.
The outpost has been built. We've expanded our borders.
Careful.
Yes. That way. All right.
Just give the word. Better than expected? Let's tell the scryers about it in case one of the workers hasn't done it already.
It's done, isn't it?
Yes, I believe so. Is it over?
I don't think so. Despite everything we did, I can still feel something. A touch of the taint still lingering in the forest. But we already have a suspicion what that might be.
The Treant.
Yes. And while you were cleansing the corrupted pools, we have been searching the tomes for a spell.
A spell? You mean it's possible to cleanse the Treant too?
Well, there's no certainty, but we hope so. As for the cleansing ritual, this magic hasn't been used for centuries. Still, it's our best chance. And you should be the one carrying out the task.
What? Why?
Because, from what I've been told, I doubt the Treant will let you speak to it without resistance. Remember, the corruption still has it in its grip. In other words, what you need to do is to fight the Treant until it's weakened. And then use the spell on it. The rest lies in Ellen's hands.
All right. Then teach me that spell.
I will. Close your eyes for a moment. Valeth Sareswen, Joras Varltar. So, did it work?
I think so, yes.
Good. Then use it at the right moment, when the Treant is weakened enough. Now go. And good luck. My prayers are with you.
Damn it. It's more complicated than I thought.
Fine. If you think so. Squire.
What do we need?
Huh?
We will be swift.
Graya?
Yes?
Will do.
Here we go.
All right. Here we go. Arlen said we should cast the spell once the Treant is weakened.
However, we're supposed to do that.
Just focus. We can do this.
So much blood.
I'm only getting started.
That's it! Cast the spell, now! Did it work?
I think so. Can you hear us?
Yes. Here. Taint. Gone. Roots. Free. You friends. You saved. Broken roots. Broken branches. Need sleep. Thank.
Huh. I think we should report back to the village now. Arlen and Varden will be thrilled to hear the news. Yes?
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 Sure.
That way?
Hmm?
Careful.
So, what's the plan?
Finrir? It's done.
So, the spell worked?
Yes. It was a hard fight, but the Treant is cleansed. The corruption seems to be over.
That is remarkable. Ellen must have truly smiled upon you.
Maybe.
Truth be told, it's a bit ironic that it was a human who saved our people from this plague. And I'm just glad it's over.
Don't get your hopes up, Varden. Those humans who took over the Nortander camp, the Bane, they'll be back.
Be that as it may, we held our end of the bargain. Will you help us?
Yes. Yes, we will. I've said it before, we are a small people, but you will have our help whenever you need it. We will send you a scryer and a division of our best soldiers and craftsmen to support your cause.
You'll have to give us time, though. A couple of days, maybe. We have to pick up the pieces the corruption left first. Where can we find you?
We've set up camp in a valley in Iskander. We can leave you a map.
Yes, do that. I'd invite you to stay for some days, but I'm assuming you have another matter to attend to.
A lot of them, actually.
Well then, this is goodbye. Thank you again for everything, friend, and may Ellen guide you.
Yes, Corporal? How can I help?
Can you tell me more about your abilities? What's it like to be a Dreamweaver?
Well, I suppose trying to explain that to someone who isn't is like explaining what water feels like to someone who never swam before. It's strange. I can sense things. Emotions, thoughts, but also the echoes of such. If I enter a place where someone has died, I feel that person's sorrow, that person's fear. My mind, my consciousness, it's open. I know that might sound very vague, but it's the best I can do. What do you require? Yes, Corporal? How can I help? Yes, Corporal? How can I help?
Wait, aren't you Scryer Elion from Leonon? Yes. I'm the Scryer Finrior and Merilith sent to lead the Moorhere troops who'll be supporting your cause. Actually, I was hoping you'd come by. I think we should have a talk, shouldn't we?
You got nervous. You overreacted. It's fine.
It's not fine. Many men and women died that day. And just because of me. Which is another reason why I'm happy they sent me here. It's a chance to make up for what I did. Though that does not mean that your commander, General Noria, didn't also play a role in this. His reputation was well known, even among us.
In any case, with our new allies, we should be able to go look for the stones.